Oh, yeah, pipe smokers. Happy Friday. Yeah, it's the 30th of August. Let's start something on fire. Yeah. I wanted to do an earlier video so the people in the UK, and my buddy Yusuf in, yeah, South Africa can enjoy this and doesn't have to wait till tomorrow. So we have a Gilson pipe here. And yeah, I still have my black frigate in there that I didn't finish. Let's start it on fire. Let's have a little smoke together. Mm. Oh, uh, that's good. So it's a beautiful day outside. Partially cloudy, but mostly sunny. 83 degrees in the beautiful outskirts of Rochester, New York. Mm. Ah, so good. Yeah, so I've got some good news. I just got a notification from Buckeye Engraving. Now, I just ordered this, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, and the guy told me it'd be about 2 weeks. And I said, look, I get that. I said, everybody wants it tomorrow, or everybody wants what they've purchased yesterday. And Buckeye Engraving is where I ordered the Gilson stamp. It's Gilson in cursive letters. It's pretty cool. And at first I thought it was too small, 3 millimeters high. And the guy's like, no, just trust me. I do this all the time with pipes. If you make it too big, it's going to be hard to stamp around that curve. And looking at some of these pipes, he's right. I mean, like this Delchester pipe, I mean, that's probably less than, you know, 3 millimeters. So, and mine's going to be a half inch long, so it'll be a nice little stamp. It's not going to detract from the pipe. My original thought was to have a beautiful Gilson and scroll about that big that went all the way, over the top of the shank of the pipe. But I was like, look, you know what you're doing. This is your profession, all right? So just send that out. So I got notification that the stamp's made and it's on its way. I'll probably have it Monday or Tuesday, which means I need to get my fanny in gear and, finish some beautiful pipes up. Although this is something that I refuse to rush. I'm going to take I'm not going to look at the 20 pipes that need refinish. Actually, there's 25 of them that needs to be finalized, finished up, and then, so forth. I'm not going to look at that whole rack of pipes. I'm going to look at them one at a time. And I don't care if it takes me a whole day just to do one, finish up one. They're gonna come out and they're gonna be super super high quality. And because my name's going on them, so that's great news. And the other great news is I have another order of 10 of the large Canadian style pipes coming in, and I have an order 10 of the billiards. And the guy was shocked. The seller was shocked. He's like, wow, you want that many? And I says, yeah. I said, let me know how many you have in your inventory. I just might buy them all. And so he says, look, I'm going to pick out the best briar that I can. And then those are the pipes I'm going to send to you, is the ones with the absolute best briar. And if they have little tiny sand holes in them, I'm gonna fill them. That's a little tiny sand hole. I'm just gonna fill those. I'm gonna make these look as best as they can. We're gonna take a little break. I'll be right back in a nanosecond. Haha. Okay, so we're back. I told you it'd only be a nanosecond. Yeah. So, cheers. Yep. Friday afternoon. So, haha. Switching gears on you, I've got this EA Carry bowl number 323. That's actually a pearwood pipe. Okay. And I want to show you guys something cool. I'm not even going to pause the video. Let me just grab it. So, in the front of the house, we had a beautiful Russian olive tree. I mean, this thing was probably 20 feet high, 25 feet high, maybe even 30 feet. It was just gorgeous. It would blossom every year. And so we got some windstorm that came along and it knocked one of the main branches down, and inside of the tree, we just knew it wasn't going to make it. Just rot had gotten down in there, and I miss that tree. It was beautiful. I used to have lights shining up, landscape lights shining up on it. It would just illuminate it like a Christmas tree. Just beautiful in the summer. So I managed to salvage some of that wood that I've now been drying for almost 2 years. And so what I'm going to do, my first pipe that I'm going to make from scratch, I'm going to make it from this Russian olive wood. Yeah. And yeah, Russian olive tree. Yeah. How cool is that? Excuse me. How cool is that? So it spent all winter sitting on my register. We've got baseboard heat here. So it just sat there on the register, which is probably about 90 degrees all winter long, drying and drying and drying. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt eventually to make my first pipe from this Russian olive tree. So I did switch gears, like I said. We have some Ahab's Comfort, which if you love Latakia blends, Ahab's Comfort is awesome. My buddy Mark Hill, Welsh Piper 62, turned me on to this. You can only get it at Watch City Cigar, Watch City Pipe and Cigar. That's the only place that you can get this, and it's called Ahab's Comfort. And this particular blend here, yeah, it's just about almost a year old, and just a great smoky blend. He gifted me this olive wood pipe too, which when I first got it, it basically was super light. It was almost white. And I read the directions. It says as you smoke it and smoke it and smoke it, she'll get darker and darker and darker till she reaches a chestnut color. So, yeah, let's set that on fire. I got to give my buddy Rick from Lockport some of this stuff when he comes up next. That's so good. So lots of good things going on, and a lot of work I have to do to get these pipes done. Well, get them pipes done. I ordered one of each of these because I wanted to see what they would be like, so, you know. Ahab's Comfort is a medium to strong blend. Latakia Rich. The room note's just phenomenal. I've smoked this stuff, walked outside, to bring the garbage can in or whatever and come back in. And it's like, oh man, that smells good. This stuff will never give you tongue bite. So I wasn't going to say nothing, but I guess the reason why I'm going to share this with you is because many of us have children and we have ex-spouses. Some of you guys still might not like your ex-spouse so well, but for mine, actually, we're still legally married. We're not even legally separated. We haven't lived together in 10 years, and we've worked together to raise our kids. And we had 4 together, and then she had 3 sons with her prior husband. And so since her boys were 2, 3, and 5, we raised them together. I raised them as my own sons. So even though we're not together, we've worked along. Like I said, we're still legally married. She just lives over there and I live over here. So she texts me last night and says, "Can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Absolutely." She says, she told me, well, apparently what has happened is the restaurant that she works for, the guy that owns it is Greek. And he decided to shut the restaurant down for 2 weeks while he goes to Greece. Well, she also works for the local school district, and they're closed for the summer, so she's not getting a paycheck. So now, all of a sudden, she says, look, and she was very nice about it. She says, would it be possible for me to borrow some money and I'll pay you back? I'll even make your first 2 car payments, to pay you back. I'll give you interest, whatever you need, but I'm kind of in a bind. I said, well, how much do you need? She said, to get me through till this guy comes back from Greece, the restaurant opens back up and the school opens up, I'm going to be short about $700. I said, okay. Now, I've got somebody that's buying a truck that's been sitting in my driveway for 2 years. I drive it occasionally just to, keep things going on it. And they're going to give me $6,000. And I owe nothing on the truck. Plus I work full time, and I've got this little pipe business which hasn't really started turning a profit yet because I'm reinvesting any little dollar that I make. I got my new Subaru, well, new to me. It's a 2015, and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm really blessed. So I called my mom and I said, look, here's what she said, and my thought process is this. When my kids turned 18, my two youngest, she stopped asking for child support for some odd reason, and I certainly didn't question it. But if the kids needed money for something or she needed money for something, I would always, give it to them. And it wasn't like I was a deadbeat dad or anything. Both these kids had jobs, full-time jobs. They were making money. They were helping their mom out, and blah, blah, blah. And actually in New York State, under New York State law, if the child is 18 years or older and they're working 30 hours or more per week at a job, they're exempt from getting child support. Well, she could have kept it going, We just had a verbal agreement between us. So I talked to my mom and I says, look, here's my thought. I want to just bless her and give her $1,000 that she doesn't have to pay back. And she says, well, you guys have worked together real good raising them kids and so forth, and she's helped you out too. She says, I think that's a great idea. So I says, okay, I got to go, Mom. So I texted her back and I says, well, how's this sound? The truck is selling on Sunday. The people are driving out with cash from another state. How about if I just give you $1,000 of that? You can keep it and you don't have to pay it back. She was like, no way. Are you kidding me? I said, no, I'm not. I understand, your situation, and I'm not starving over here. I'm not rich, but I said, you're the mom of my kids, and they still live at home at 20 and 21 years old. And, they both have decent jobs. But I really want to do that. She's like, are you still going to think the same way tomorrow? I says, of course I am. She says, well, what if the truck deal for somehow falls through? I says, well, it won't, but if it does, then I'm going to give you $500 that in cash you don't have to pay back. She's like, oh, man. She says, I'm going to make your favorite dinner for you, stuffed shells. I said, well, how about when you pick up the money, we can do some other things too. And so we had a little chat about that, which is, it's not going to happen, but, you know me. I just had to throw that in there, But the Lord really put it on my heart to bless her, because I'm being blessed and she's my wife. And I woke up this morning and I just had a good feeling about it, So she's coming out. She's bringing me my favorite dinner, which is stuffed shells that she makes phenomenal. Actually, I think she's here. Yeah. Hold on, we'll be back in a nanosecond. Okay, so it wasn't my wife, it was my beer delivery. I don't feel like leaving the house today. So when you're blessed, then all of a sudden someone that you care about is in need. Don't be afraid to help them, because it's all going to come back. $1,000 is a lot of money just to say, here you go, but she's provided, we both work together to provide a beautiful townhouse for her and my kids to live in, and I think it's the fair thing to do. She's done a lot of things, for me. And I just wanted to return that favor, no strings attached. You don't have to pay it back. And I'm happy to do it. I've been really blessed, really, really, really blessed. Not blessed with like 20, 30, $40,000, but a little here, a little there, and I've got a nice 2015 Subaru instead of driving that old Honda with a, with the seat falling through. And then the final episode was when the gas tank pretty much fell out of it on the road 20 miles away from home, and I just kept driving with gas and sparks flying out the back. Yeah. All my buddies at work are like, dude, I would have stopped and pulled over. I said, not me, man. I says, Lord, what do you want me to do? Keep going. And the car didn't blow up. It didn't start on fire. And my one buddy's like, what would you have done if it did start on fire but didn't explode? I said, well, I'd have kept driving. I would have kept driving till it just got too warm in that car. And then I would have pulled over and watched it burn. So, in order to bless others, you have to be blessed. You have to have yourself in a situation where you can bless others, and I'm in that situation. So, thank you, Lord. Yeah. Well, we may come out with another smoke together video later on today. We'll see how the day goes. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. Happy pipe smoking, pipe smokers, over and out.